Okay, so yes, why am I doing this video? Right, you may have noticed that I've just done a video in the last couple of days and it's disappeared. Reason being is the information I put on it is now wrong. So I wanted to correct it, bring you up to date with stuff as well. It's been a very, very busy few days. The whole last month has been pretty chaotic, to be honest with you. I've had a terrible cough, which I've still got. You can probably tell I've got a bit of a raspy throat. Hang on, let's just bring you down a bit. You're a bit high. So hopefully I don't cough all the way through this. So anyway, what's happened? I did a video, and on that video I said I was going to start using a different it was called Ko-fi. So you could contribute to my channel because I don't charge. None of my videos are monetized, so that you shouldn't get any video advertising. You shouldn't get any advertising on my videos. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just use this Ko-fi, and then people can pay so much for membership and all the rest of it. But had a big backtrack from that, and several things. As I mentioned, I've had a heck of a month. Right, so I'll slightly start from the beginning. I'll start from the beginning. Smokestone. Smokestone's my bike brand. So I've got that. I've got a website, Smokestone Bikes. I've also got GFBL Events, which put on events. I've also got a YouTube channel, and I've also got a life. So I'm supposed to be retired and having plenty of time on my hands, but it's all got a bit. I love creating. I love working. I love doing stuff. That's my downfall, really. I do try to do too much. I'm still the owner of Slam 69, although I don't actually have anything to do with that. My granddaughter runs that. But so just to cut to the chase, so it's come to the point where I have to renew websites. Their sort of annual contracts are coming to an end. And not long ago, I decided to stop Smokestone. It's a really hard decision to take. It was just, like I say, the workload was getting ridiculous. I had looked at offering Smokestone as a brand for someone to take over, but it's so personal. And as soon as I started chatting to a few people, I thought, I just can't do this. So I made the mistake in all my haste, because I tend to do things without thinking. When I decided to stop Smokestone, the first thing I did was I looked at stopping all the different things like the Facebook, the website, the Instagram, blah, blah. So I stopped Instagram. Massive mistake, because you can't get it going again. I won't go into all the details of it, but I got hacked a few years ago, and there's another Smokestone account. And every time I try to bring this account back, that one keeps showing up in related to my phone number and all the rest of it. So it's becoming quite a hot nightmare. So at the moment, there's no Instagram for Smokestone. The Facebook page and the owners group page on Facebook will stay. The website, as I say, is coming to an end soon. So I've got to decide what to do with that, because I do need a place where people can find information. The other thing is GFBL Events is going well. That runs the Surly 100, and I also run Fat Fest, which is an annual fat bike event. So those two things run on that website. One other thing in the last month, or in the last few weeks, happened is I lost my GoPro whilst out filming a promo video for the Surly 100, my bikepacking weekend. And I lost my GoPro. It was a Wednesday, and I was riding out the other side of Cheltenham. And we spent 2 days afterwards backtracking over where I thought I'd lost it, could not find it. The week went on, and I thought, well, I've got to get another camera. I was planning to sort of replace the GoPro. Oh, well, wait, I've got another GoPro, a cheaper one, an older one. I was looking to replace that with a better camera. But sort of my hand was forced. So I went out after much check-in and looking at reviews and all the rest of it. I went out and I bought an Insta360. Now, it cost me quite a bit. Comes with a remote like this, which is really handy. So I can start and stop the camera on this remote. I can do all kinds of stuff. I can zoom in, I can do all kinds. But anyway, so I've got the camera. I started doing some filming, and then when I announced that I got the new camera, somebody popped up and said, I think I found your GoPro. I thought, what? What's the chances? So anyway, I looked at who it was. I arranged to meet them. Met them at the shop. And yes, lo and behold, I got my GoPro back and he told me all about it. So basically there's a group of riders in Cheltenham called the Wednesday Mountain Bike Club. They ride on Wednesdays. And they'd ridden behind me. So I must have lost it somewhere around Hillcott, I think it's called. And they must have ridden through and seen it and picked it up. And obviously when I went back the following day, it was gone. So I would have never have found it anyway. So, but this is really freaky. This whole, I'll just explain. So some guys found my GoPro. One of the guys in this group of riders, this Wednesday night mountain bike club, his name is Graham Foot. Same as me, same name. He rides a mountain bike. He lives not far from me as well, not far at all. He rides in all the trails and the tracks that I know in Cranham. I built most of them and he rides on them. Somehow we've never met over all these years. Although we met about 6 years ago in the bike shop. I met him about 6 years ago, I think, in our shop when he popped in. But he'd been riding along before that around Cranham and all the local area. But we've never met each other. So we got this freaky situation where the people that found my GoPro, their mates called Graham Foot. Now this group all work in the same place. They all work at I think it's called GM or GM. Anyway, it's what it used to be called, it's GE, used to be called Smith's Industries in Bishop's Cleeve. So they all work there. And my dad used to work at Smith's Industries. So Graham Foot and his mates all work in the same place that my dad worked in. It's really quite uncanny. And he's a mountain biker and he rides where I ride. And all these things are, it's just freaky. So anyway, I got my GoPro back and bought this new camera, which I love. And I'll just show you now if I can get this to work. So here's my GoPro. And here's the new 360. As you can see, it's got a screen on top. I love it. It's really, really good. And as I say, it's got this watch, which you can see the screen on and you can operate it from. It's also got things like compasses, and because you wear the watch all the time, it just stays in standby. And it's got a GPS on it. It's got all kinds of stuff on it. A compass. So yeah, got my GoPro back. So yeah, that's where we are with that. Now, going back to Smokestone and all this other stuff on websites running out, I was chatting to somebody yesterday who I've been chatting to for on and off for quite some time. A guy called Mark who lives in Vietnam. He's a bike packer. He runs his own bike packing setup and his own YouTube channel. And he has a Patreon page, which I found him on, or I saw. And he suggested that I do what he does, and he offers free membership on his Patreon. And that means that you can sort of get loads and loads of people to come onto your Patreon for free. You don't have to pay for anything. Normally you'd have to pay. The only time I've seen Patreon before, and it's usually associated with a YouTuber who needs money, you pay to see special content or special perks or these sorts of things. I never really thought you could do it for free. You could join a Patreon account for free, but you can. Now I've done it. I've set up a Patreon account. I haven't quite got. There is a link to join for free because people are doing it, but some people are also paying. I think it's £1. It's the lowest tier. Because they can't find the free link. Now at the moment, because of age, it's an 18 plus thing you have to get around, because at the moment it's set up as like an adult only video channel, and I've just given my details over, so that should all change so it's open and there's no restrictions, and then apparently free membership will be enabled, making it a lot easier. But the plan is, and this is how it's getting all very interesting, I can move everything from my websites onto Patreon, and in a thing called collections. You'll see on the page there's a button, there's a category called collections. Click that and all these separate things pop up, and I can put information about Smokestone, information about events, information about YouTube, because I can post all my YouTube videos on there. YouTube will stay, don't panic, it's not going to go anywhere. so you'll still be able to watch stuff on YouTube and then see my stuff and all the rest of it. But if you want to see stuff through me, my Patreon page, you can. You can also chat on it, communicate on it. I'm going to sell on it, and what I'm going to sell is Smokestone. So Smokestone is going to carry on. There's a I haven't sussed it quite out yet, but there's a merchandise button, and I think I can put frames on there, and you'll be able to buy direct from there, make life a lot easier. So that's the plan. Smokestone itself will slightly shrink in as many, I won't offer as many models. Excuse me. There's one exciting thing which I was going to do anyway, which you may have heard about, and that's my Herbie project. So it's a bike, it's basically a bike for me, a cross-country bike for me, something I've always wanted. Always wanted a titanium cross-country mountain bike. So I started, on that note, I started to collect some things. You can probably see up there, there's something like this, which is a, this is the new rim I'm doing. This is a cross-country rim. It's 35mm external. It's called the SM35. And I've got a tyre on it at the moment because these are the tyres I'm going to be using. They're the Vittoria Peyote XC race tyres. Super fast tread. The cross-country mountain bikers use this on the World Cup. So if they can use it, I think I should. Don't you? So the rims are about 355 grams, so super light, carbon, strong. So this will be the wheels for the Herbie. I've also got a set of Sid forks, which I've had for ages. These are like 2022, I think. Sid Ultimates, been sat in a box. I have had them for sale once, but never had any takers. They got an automatic remote and all the rest of it. Super light, boost. So I'll be using these, and the rest of the bill will be full Hope, everything, new carbon cranks, all singing, all dancing, no expense spared. And so that will be my project bike, but I'm looking to offer it as a complete and also offer it with a slightly lower spec, still with good quality components, but something a bit more affordable. So that's going forward. And then the other things I'm going to carry on with are the models, the Raven, and also the Raven and also the Haribo. Both will take fat bike wheels, but most people run them plus. And sorry, my camera's just turned itself off. I'm also going to carry on with Mr. Harry and possibly the Raven 148, which is basically a boost version of the Raven. Excuse me. So there you go. So that's going to carry on. Events wise, you know, or you may not know, I'm running the Surly 100, which is 2 days of bike packing. I've got some stickers, mate. Look at that. Cool. Got some stickers. Get signed up to the event. Come along. 2 days of bike packing around the Cotswolds. 50 miles a day. Start and finishes at Gloucester Brewery. Laid back. You've got all day to do 50 miles. It's not crazy. There's lots of stops along the way. Pubs on the way. I'm going to produce a little guide, like a refreshment guide for everybody to take with them for each day. Second day is a lot easier than the first. There's only one really major climb on the first, like a really hard climb on the first day, which I can't do anything about because you've got to get up to the top, and at the top of the hill there's a bar and a golf club. So there's a reward at the top to entice you to keep going. There's a few other pubs en route. There's another one at the end, just towards the end of the first day, the Colesbourne Inn, we'll be calling it at, which is a cool pub, and then you haven't got far to go then to the finish. And in the field, we're offering food and the campsite laid on, so you just turn up with all your kit, pitch your tent, food will be there, and plenty of it, and which is being supplied by my daughter-in-law and my wife and my son. So that's all good. And then the following day, around 9 o'clock, you can, well, whatever time you want to go, you can drift off to finish the second day, which is another 50 miles. Like I say, it's a lot easier. There's a little climb some little climbs at the start, and then it sort of goes downhill onto a canal, and then you've got a nice easy finish and roll in to the finish. The start and finish is at Gloucester Brewery in the docks, Gloucester Docks. The start sign-on will be open from 7:30. on the Saturday, and everyone will kick off. I sort of done this in the wrong order, but you'll kick off around about 9 o'clock in Gloucester and set off on your route. And then obviously you'll finish on the Sunday. Whenever you want to finish, we'll be there at the finish, and the bar will be open and you can do what you want to do. There is overnight parking in Gloucester, which I've sorted out. You can go to Asda car park. There is an overnight facility. It's £12 per night. You can do that. I think you can pre-book it online. I've put a link, or there's a link on the website, and I'll put a link in the information. And also there's plenty of places left if you want to enter. The entry is low at the moment, but then it's my first event. It's quite a crowded scene bikepacking in the UK at the moment, and obviously the weather has been not terrific. So, but there's lots of, anyway, I've got about 37 entries at the moment. 50 would be good. There is a maximum limit of 100, but I'm not going to get those this year. The event will be annual, so every year it'll be put on. The route will be fresh every year. The following week, I've got another event, but this one is basically a gathering of like-minded people with fat bikes. I've done it every year for years. It's called Fat Fest, and we meet up in the same campsite actually a week later, and then we ride local trails. Got 2 days of riding, very laid back, food and all the rest of it. Very chilled out weekend. It's actually free to come along. All you do is you pay for your campsite and your food separately. You can turn up on the day. There's no need to pre-book. So there's the 2 events. There's more to come. I've got some other things in the pipeline. I have sort of mentioned an event called the Bucks Head Bash, which will be a hardcore 1-day Saturday cross-country loop of 55 miles. But details of that to come. Whether I actually run that this year, it's going to be in October. I'd like to do it this year, but it may be too late to let people know, so it may go on to next year, but we'll see. So that's in the pipeline. I think I've covered most things. Like I say, YouTube's going to continue. I've got lots of videos coming. I'm going to do a bike information video, technical video. So the basics, all the very basics, the terminology used about bicycles. What is a bottom bracket? What is a headset? All these different things. What's the components of a wheel? How to do this, how to do that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip a bike and rebuild it, and in the process go through all those little components. And in the future I'll be doing loads of more technical videos, maintenance videos and things like that. That's something I really want to do. And the other thing is, I've talked about already many times, is I'm doing a health video, as he coughs and splutters. Yeah, I've had a cold since before COVID. So this is, I know it's not really a cold, it's just a cough, but I've had a cold in years. But anyway, so yeah, doing a health video, because having been through polymyalgia and taking steroids and all these sorts of things, as you get older, your health becomes more important, and you start to think about it a lot more. And I've learned a lot. My teacher, I've been living with for 51 years, my wife. She is the ultimate example of, if you live and eat well and lead a healthy lifestyle, you stay healthy and fit and able to do a lot of things. She's so fit. She runs a lot, doesn't eat mass, never ever eaten big meals, never really drunk that much, the odd little glass of wine. Used to smoke the odd cigarette now and again, but never really done anything. Never eaten big meals. Still thin, still got a little waist, So I know I followed her example. I mean, she's fed me, so she looks after me. So I've been eating more or less what she eats, but we did used to dabble in cakes and buns and pies and all this sort of stuff, whereas that's all stopped now. But I won't go into details about that now. That's for a later project, later video. But that's it for now, I think. Pretty much covered everything. Nothing else I need to add, other than keep an eye on stuff. Sign up to my Patreon, please. If you're struggling, you don't need to pay. Just I'll put some. I'm going to write in a minute what you need to do it for free. I'll put a little thing on there. So I'll put a link in this video as well in the description on the address for my Patreon. And that's about it, really. Okay. Hope you found this. You haven't fallen asleep. We haven't turned off. And I will catch you in the next one. Okay. Take it easy, people. And like I say, I'll catch you in the next one.